Tivoli, will you be the great town that you are and help the Tivoli Sailing Company build a bigger, better dock? Plus, sailing makes people happy.
Yeah, makes me happy.
Hello, my name is Captain Jerome from Tivoli Sailing Company. I've been sailing since I was 9 months old, courtesy of the fact that my grandfather was a naval architect. I attended Bard College, and I fell in love with the area mainly because of the river. And it seemed odd to me that there was no sailing on the river. Hardly anyone would go to it. People would just drive down to the Tivoli waterfront, stay there a few minutes, see all the sketchy rocks, and you know, hopefully a beautiful sunset or two, and then leave. I ended up fixing up a friend's catamaran, my friend David Weiss, who owns Santa Fe restaurant in Tivoli, and I started sailing the river, and I fell in love with it. My friend Ben said, you know, you should get your captain's license and start a sailing center, and I did. And I bought my first little cruising boat, a little 24-foot boat named Lita, and we started picking people up. But Tivoli they had an old bulkhead, which is an old wall, which at mid-tide or lower we could access, but at high tide it was underwater. I talked to my friend George, who is a master carpenter, who you'll see later in the video, and he said, let's build a dock, let's do it. So I got a bunch of friends together, I bought all the wood, and we built a beautiful, very functional, very strong dock in about 5.5 hours. Within hours of building it, people were there swimming off of it, and it gave me so much pleasure to see that. And the village ended up purchasing the land, and I helped them with the purchase by calling the Department of State and giving my approval. And they put me on the waterfront committee, and everything seemed great. And then one day in 2011, they told me, sorry, we got to tear your dock down. We kept them at bay for 3 years with letters in the local newspapers, and all this public sentiment was on our side. And then finally they escalated things and decided to take us to court. And we went to court, and the village court, the judge had to recuse himself because the mayor had called him trying to influence his decision, which is very illegal. And then we went to town court, and the night before our court date, the village government met in secret and voted to just tear it down. And they basically denied me my day in court and killed my star witness. You know, it was like a mafia trial. How do you know you're not going to lose the trial? You kill the witness. And that's what they did. The dock was our witness. So this was supposedly voted on last night.
I don't know if it was voted on last night.
But the village board gave you the order.
They did.
Did who physically, do you have a written?
Joel Griffith called me. He's in charge of the DPW. He said that we need to take it down.
Okay. So this has changed things a lot for us, and we need your help. And there's a bunch of ways that you can help us. The first way that you can help us is by spreading the word about this campaign. There's a lot of good information in this campaign, and the village has done a real good job of trying to misinform people. The first thing people need to know, you can cross the tracks safe and legally. They had an article written in the Daily Freeman where a local police sheriff captain was misquoted as saying, anyone who crosses the tracks to access the water will be arrested. That's not true. I called the police officer in question. You can cross at the crossing. He said, there's a crossing, right? There's lights and a gate and everything. I said, yeah. He said, you can cross at the crossing, and you can drive your car across too. So let people know you can still come to the river. That's our primary focus. We want people to know they can still access it, and they can do it safely and legally. The second thing that we need your help with is with creating a motor launch. We've purchased a pontoon boat. which used up a lot of our savings, but we did that so that we could still pick people up in Tivoli safely and efficiently and effectively in the meantime. And this boat needs a new motor, we need to put new benches in it, we need to do a lot of renovations, and this is going to cost over $10,000. So we need your help to raise funds to make this happen. And we decided, you know, this boat is going to be used primarily to service our boats and get people out on the sailboats, but in the meantime, why not start a ferry? Why not turn a bad into a good? So we're going to kit this boat out and turn it into a ferry, which will be running on the weekends, and that's going to be one of the first perks on our in our campaign, is to be able to go and do ferry service on Saturdays, and on Monday nights there's $5 movie night in Saugerties, which I'm sure the Tivolians would love because there's no movie theater there. And on Wednesday night there's $5 burger night. And on the weekends there's a lot of Saugertians that would love to go to Spiegel Tent at Bard. The next thing we need help with, number 3, is getting a forensic survey done. According to the GPS map on the Dutchess County Parcel Access site, our dock starts right where the Tivoli Village property line ends, which would prove that it wasn't even on their land, which would help us immensely in court. And that brings us to the third thing. We're still engaged in court proceedings, and we need your help to defend ourselves and to defend the rights of all the people down here. If we don't look after our rights and let the village know that we will fight for our right to have access to the waterfront, there's a very good chance they could put a fence up and block us off from the river indefinitely. The park they want to have built might not be built for another 10 years. So help us by spreading the word about this campaign. Get the information to anyone you can, even if you can't donate money. Get the word out, spread the word. Secondly, help us remodel this launch and turn it into a beautiful, fun ferry that can bring people from Saugerties to Tivoli and Tivoli to Saugerties and keep us sailing. Help us get a forensic survey done, and help us defend ourselves in court. All we want is to get our dock back, and we need your help.
We want the dock back. We miss the dock. Somebody bring it back, please. One of the things that I'm upset about with losing this dock is the kids in the sailing program. Their heart is invested, and they love sailing. And to take away the dock from them is taking away something very big to them. This is important. This is important for their development as individuals, as leaders, as problem solvers, as creative individuals. And if we have your support to get this dock back, we can give that back to them. And that's really important to us. It's really important to me.
What I like about Tivoli Sailing Camp Stock is that it is a unique place that us camp kids can call our own. Whenever we're on a train or crossing over the bridge and we see it, it's really great to be able to say that's where my favorite camp is, that's where we dock and sail. And whenever we pull up to get on the dock to start the day, it's right on the water and you get this breath of fresh air, and it's like your own personal escape before you get on the boat and start sailing.
Sailing is special. I love the dock. Bring it back.
Tivoli sailing is the bomb. Had the best day ever. Bring that dock back.
Hi. No, see, you're going to use...
Start again, ready?
Hi, I'm George. I helped Jerome conceive and build the dock, and it was a communal effort of love for the river and to be on the river, and it was a good idea to rest something on these old bulkheads, which once were the centerpiece of, I think, this community and how they got to the water. And although the trains are concerned, you know, we have to be careful. It shouldn't keep us from the water and from something we love. And I loved going to the dock and standing on that piece of wood and looking out and diving off with my kids. And I'll miss that dock if it isn't there.
Of our dock, and they've now made a new one out of rocks. And here's a family of kids hanging out on the rocks, which is, you know, totally safe and much less liability. Right, guys? Hey, guys!
Hello! How you doing?
Are you guys sad that our dock got torn down? Yeah, you want it back, don't you? Yeah, we're gonna get it back. Don't you worry.
We need your help. Please support us in gathering funds to bring Tivoli back to court to show them our support and love for community in bringing back our dock and giving access to the river again. Please help us. Please.